Guys, happiness is not your friend. This is one of the biggest fallacies sold today, and it hinders men so much. I talk to so many men, and they tell me, they're like, man, I just want to be happy. And I'm like, what does that mean? How did we get sold on this dream of, I just want to be happy? It's myopic. It keeps you focused on self, which is the thing that keeps so many men unhappy. Let me back up a hair and lay some groundwork so I can explain this fully. I don't know where this came into our society, but I have a lot of guys that I coach, I talk to, and a common theme is they're like, well, I just want to be happy. I just don't feel happy, and I'm not happy. And I'm like, well, okay, what does that mean to you? And then oftentimes they describe what happiness is, and I'm like, interesting. Well, that sounds a lot more like freedom, actually. Like you want freedom of time, money, relationships, location, work. Like you want some different things. And your unhappiness is really just a symptom of the fact that you're not satisfied. It's not that you're unhappy. It's that you're dissatisfied with the quality of your life, which is largely due to the decisions you've made and the paradigm with which you're operating in life. And so they'll talk to me and they'll be like, yeah, but I just want to be happy. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Right? Like, to me, happiness is transitory. Sometimes I'm happy. I have moments of happiness. It's kind of like eating. I have times where I eat, it's enjoyable, and then I'm full. And happiness is the same way. It doesn't last forever. Now, I feel satisfied with my life. I love my life. I think I have a great life. And I know a lot of guys don't feel that way about their life. But that's something that I feel. But would I say that I'm generally happy? I mean, now I feel pretty happy. For the majority of my life, do I feel happy? No, I would say I'm closer to what Ed Milet says, blissfully dissatisfied. Like, I feel blissful about my life, man. I love my life. I think it's great. I do a lot of awesome things, but I'm also a little dissatisfied. I know that even though I'm way more today than I was a year ago or 5 years ago, man, I'm nowhere near tapping into my potential. Like, I'm just getting started. I'm turning 36 on Tuesday, which is, 3 days from now? I'm turning 36, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just getting warmed up. I've just now finally gotten the foundation over the last 5 to 6, 7, 8 years to really allow me to do big things in my life. I was talking with a guy last night, and man, he was just explaining to me. He was like, dude, I didn't know what credit was till I was like 25, and it had already ruined my credit. Like, I had like a 300 credit score. And he's like, nobody told me about financial acumen. Nobody told me how to become wealthy. Nobody taught me how to get the things in life I wanted. And I'm like, dude, I can't tell you how many times I hear this, guys. I can't tell you how many times I hear this from other guys where they're like, dude, nobody showed me how to be the man I'm satisfied with, or I'm happy with, or I'm proud of. Nobody showed me how to have financial security. Nobody showed me how to become independently wealthy. Nobody showed me how to even keep my commitments. Nobody showed me how to have integrity with myself, or what it means to have integrity with myself. But I want to come back to this idea because I think happiness is a thief when you focus on it. It's this, hold on guys, we got to rock in the road. So I live up here in the mountains, and occasionally, normally I would pull over and pull that rock out of the road, but I'm on a timeline to get down to a meeting. So happiness is myopic, man. It steals from you. And I can't tell you how many guys I talk to that they're miserable day in and day out because they wake up and they're focusing, they're asking themselves this question, well, am I happy? Am I happy? And then halfway through the day, am I happy? And then again, another hour later, oh, I don't feel happy, but I should be happy all the time. Like, how is that realistic? That's not real life, man. Life is polarizing. You have to have your ups and your downs. You have to have your highs and your lows. You have to have your positive and your negative. You can't have one without the other. And furthermore, when it comes to happiness, dude, give me a fucking break. Happiness is a byproduct of other things. When do you feel happy? I feel happy when I do things for other people. I feel happy when I help somebody out. I feel happy when I get somebody a breakthrough in coaching. I feel happy in all of these times, but I rarely ever feel happy when I'm just sitting there focusing on myself and my own happiness. Like, my happiness is most often felt when I'm in the service of others or I'm in the service of another cause. It's a byproduct. It's not the thing itself. So the more you pursue happiness, the more it eludes you. And interestingly, or ironically enough, almost the less you focus on happiness and the more you focus on the things that lead to the byproducts of happiness, the more happy you are. So if you're like, man, when was the last time I really felt happy? Oh, it's when I went and did this, or I had a conversation that was interesting. And then you realize, oh man, okay, well, I haven't been having interesting conversations lately that are stimulating. I'm not in the right crowd. I'm not in the right place in my life. I'm not doing these right things. And that's okay. And you grow throughout as well. So I just had some motorcycles pass me. Dude, I used to ride sport bikes back in college, guys. Loved it. It brought me so much joy, so much peace. I felt so good doing it. But that was transitory. And would I feel that now? Yeah, I mean, I would still enjoy riding bikes, but not the way that I did. And so the things that brought you happiness once don't have to keep bringing you happiness in the future. As you grow, the things that lead to happiness grow and change as well. So don't let happiness be a thief, guys. Like, I'll tell you a story. So if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I used to be a male dancer. And I was like one of the top male dancers in the world. Did it for 6 years. Developed a crazy reputation for liking to party. Guys, I partied with celebrities. I slept with countless women. I did all the stuff that most guys dream of. Like threesomes, orgies, like sleeping with the most beautiful women on the planet, playgirl, models, like you name it, guys. Like, it was wild. And, that was cool. That was cool. But I was unhappy a lot of the time. I didn't actually feel very good about me. So what does that say? Like, I had fun doing it at the time with where I was in life. I wouldn't trade it. I learned a lot of skills that most people will never get the opportunity to learn. Most guys will never be able to touch me in this instance. Why? Because I interacted, like I had hand-to-hand combat with like 90,000 women. And not in a traditional manner. Most people have all of these guards up. Most people don't let themselves get into their shadow selves. Most people don't explore their, shall we say, repressed sides. Dude, I got to delve into all that. Like, it's like getting a PhD in dark psychology or something, getting to be in that industry, and then especially becoming one of the top people in that industry. And that's not to brag or anything like that, because quite frankly, in a weird way, it's kind of a sleazy industry. And how did I end up there? I ended up there because I wasn't taught a lot of how to be in life. Like, I didn't get the lessons in life. And so even though I had what I would consider a pretty good foundation, I still ended up in this place because I had something within me that was pulling to discover more, that was pulling to break out of my naivety, that was pulling to explore taboos that I learned in my values that I disagreed with. I was brought up in the South, man. I was brought up in a strict Christian family. But I started asking myself questions, and I was like, I don't think I agree with a lot of this stuff. I certainly don't agree with the shame and guilt that goes along with a lot of those things. And then I didn't agree with a lot of those things. So I set out to say, well, what are my values? What are Kaylin's values? Right? Because nobody teaches you how to do that. Nobody teaches you how to question your beliefs and how to say, okay, well, these are the beliefs that I've adopted. I know that I adopted these from my environment, how I was brought up, etc. But are they really my beliefs? Turns out a lot of them weren't. And I'm trying to tie this story back to happiness because it took me deeply inspecting my whole life, deeply peeling back the onion layer with all of that, going through what was a hugely transformative experience in a manner that most will never get to. And that taught me a lot about happiness, because during that time I was pursuing happiness. It just wasn't a good goal. I was pursuing things that I thought would make me happy, and a lot of that stuff was fun in the moment. But then you still wake up the next morning and you're like, man, like I'm not feeling fulfilled, man. I don't feel this deeper sense of purpose that I would like to feel. And I know that I'm better for more. Like, I feel a fucking calling, and I know that I was born for something great. And I know a lot of guys say that. I have guys talk to me, they're like, oh man, I was born for something great. And I'm like, were you? Have you been living your life like that? Like, I legitimately have been taking risk on myself. I've been betting on myself like crazy since I was a teenager. That's how I've lived. And it's led to horrible situations because I've gotten myself in financial issues, etc. But like, I'm going to bet on me because I believe in me, and I truly believe I was born to do something great. A lot of people are like, man, I was born to do something great. And I'm like, okay, well, how about that business that you've been talking about starting for 10 years? They're like, yeah, well, but, and I'm like, yeah, you're just being a yeah, but guy. Yeah, but here's all the reasons why it won't work. On the other hand, I'm like, hey, let's go. Like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. There's a reason I don't watch sports, guys. Like, I don't really watch sports at all. If I go live, it can be fun to watch things in person, but I don't really watch sports because I'm like, dude, I would rather be there. I want to be on the field. I don't want to be somebody else's cheerleader. Like, I'm in the game. I'm in the game of life. I've got one life. Dude, I want to live a big life. I want to do big things. I want to do great things. And it turns out that if you have your orientation towards happiness, that will be a thief for you to do a lot of the big things that you really want to do in life. So happiness is not the goal. Now, I'm hesitant to tell people what your goal should be. I think for a lot of men, they feel better when they pursue their potential. And people pursue that differently. Tom Brady pursued it through football, Michael Jordan through basketball. A lot of people pursue their talents differently. But ultimately, like for men, power, status, mastery, influence, those are key things that are important for us. We desire those things. Power, the ability to influence or direct events or people, primarily influence or direct yourself. Power, you want power. You want to be powerful. You want to be able to influence and direct yourself so that you can influence and direct other people. That is the name of the game. That gets you status. You have to be powerful in order to get mastery. You want to be the top dog? You want to be the top in your game? That's mastery. You better be powerful if you want to have mastery. And if you're oriented towards happiness, it'll be transitory. You'll be doing something different here. You'll be doing something different there. You'll be constantly worried about how you feel rather than just saying, I have a goal, and that's to be top dog. I have a goal, and that's to be the best that I can be. I have a goal, and that's to pursue my potential. So that's why I just don't think it's a good goal. So I hope this helps somebody out there who's struggling with this in a similar manner. I know I spent years being confused by this. I felt like I was told all the wrong things and taught the wrong things. And then I sort of fell into this cultural, societal mechanism where it's like, oh yeah, of course, I just need to focus on happiness. And, maybe I need to go get a therapist so that they can help me get happy. And maybe I need to do this so I can be happy. And it turns out, dude, like, forget your happiness. At least that's what it was for me, guys. I had to say, forget the happiness. I'm going after bigger things. And as it turns out, I'm happier now than I've ever been. More satisfied now than I've ever been. I'm more proud of myself than I've ever been. I'm pushing myself, man. I'm working on things. And I'm helping people along the way. Like, I'm changing lives along the way. That's so fulfilling. Dude, it's so awesome. And I feel so much happier when I'm not focused on happiness. Hope this helps, guys. Be great out there.